Tonight, lightning does strike twice. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Barbara McKeel's shows always have the best music.
Right.
Like, Being Mary Jane had the right soundtracks, Girlfriends had bomb soundtracks, and now this. I cannot wait for them to release it. It's wonderful.
I'm gonna need a Spotify playlist like ASAP.
Oh, it's already up.
Oh. Well then, I know that I'm working out tonight. What's up, guys? We are so excited to be here for the Black Lightning series premiere. My name is Drew Jones. You can follow me on all the things at OKDrewJ. And I would not be here without my bomb panel. So what's up, guys?
Hey guys, I'm Chae Jones. You can find me at Real Chae Jones on Twitter and Instagram.
Hey guys, I'm Joelle Monique. You can find me all over the internet at Joelle Monique and every week at blackgirlnerds.com.
Hey y'all, it's Porchia Carter. You can find me on all social media at Porchia Carter. Welcome to Black Lightning.
Woo!
Yeah.
I am so excited to finally, I feel like this has been forever. Like, I've been waiting for Black Lightning for, it feels like a century.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, I've been so excited about this, and we're finally here. And we start in a police station. We just action-packed, just from the get-go. We see Jefferson Pierce chilling there with his daughter, and we're like, automatically you're like, what's going on? Like,
Right.
And of course, we got Anissa, fighting
Power
a
to
good
the
fight, getting arrested. What'd you guys think of that?
I love that her sister calls her Rosa Parks. It gives
Harriet
me,
Tubman.
I'm sorry,
Harriet
you're right,
Tubman.
Harriet Tubman. It was just, and the fact that annoys her so much. I really like the way they establish these relationships early on, that it's going to be, obviously, these three as the core, and kind of establishing those dynamics. You've got the wild child, you've got the freedom fighter, and you got a dad who's just trying to hold it all together. It's a really nice way to introduce the show.
I agree.
So I like the beginning part, not necessarily the scene. The scene was awesome. I'm sitting there, I'm thinking like, okay, what they got going on, why they in the police station, but the narrative, once baby girl.
Justice like lightning should ever appear, to some men hope, to some men fear. I
Yeah.
wrote it down because that is so powerful.
And I'm just like, what? And then baby girl, when she was telling her story, she's basically saying, like, foreshadowing what's to come. She's like, well, nobody in our family knows what's going on, and not even myself. Like, she knows that something is up, like, and it's all about to make sense. Her daddy is Black Lightning. Somebody else is Black Lightning's, offspring. And, she may be too. She was like foreshadowing everything within that opening scene right there. Like, and I'm just like, she told us a lot, sitting there on her phone. And I loved it.
Well, thank you, Stone 6, sorry. He said, beautiful Black girl panel. Black is beautiful, Black is bold, and Black is powerful. And we agree.
Hey.
I agree too. Black girl magic.
Yeah,
That type of thing.
Black girl magic.
Like Black Lightning.
I like that we get to see, without overly going into the story, we get little brief moments of the past. Like, we see the Black Lightning warrant up in the police station. We see the Tobias White, and you instantly are like, okay, who's this dude? Because clearly, he looks like a bad dude. Like, he just looks.
And he looks weird.
Yeah.
Like, one of those people, they up to something when they just look at you weird, when all their facial expressions is weird. It's just like, lighten up,
Yeah, he looks like he's up to no good. And so we find out that he was Black Lightning 9 years ago, stopped, is now a principal.
Garfield High in a very lean on me way, but
Yeah.
yeah.
It kind of makes me think, I feel like my principal, looking back, I feel like my principal had a very, superhero-esque build to him.
What high school? I would love to go to this high school.
Right?
Can my principal look like this? That was amazing. He's so handsome. Oh
Golf
my
High
God.
School, shout out to Mr. Noble.
I don't even remember my high school principal. I
just
think I
gonna
had
say.
3 different ones. So at that point,
Mine was fine, that's why I remember
Well,
him.
my high school principals were women, so I didn't have that struggle.
Yes.
So,
The struggle of the fine guy as my principal.
that's a struggle we could all have.
Yeah.
It's a struggle I don't mind
yeah.
having. So we find out they have to go to this event, true sister moment. Are you wearing my dress? Yes. I have a sister.
She didn't even say I know this your dress or nothing like that. She like, oh, okay, and here go another one. Like,
Yeah.
dang, girl.
Yeah, this wear your other dress.
That you should have been wearing. before you get arrested.
Before you got arrested, exactly. So they're headed to this fundraiser and they get pulled over, which as soon as you see the cop lights, you're like, all right.
I thought they was going to shoot him.
Really?
I thought this was about to be one of them police brutality type deals.
It was still police brutality. First of all, like, just because I'm going to open the door, that does not give you a right to pull a gun on me.
This is actually really reminiscent. I wish I could remember the actor's name. He was in The Wire. He's a black cop in The Wire. But he had a similar story, and I think he told it in a TED Talk, where he's driving with his kids. He's got his music on. He gets pulled over, and I guess the officer's asking him to roll his window down, but he couldn't hear him, and drew a gun. He's got, I think they were his grandbabies in the back seat. And I was just, in watching it, it felt like they had taken a lot of liberties from that story, because they pulled him out of the car, too. Same story of, like, well, who are you after? Oh, well, somebody just robbed a thing. What?
Yeah.
Like, the hell? No.
And
of
I'm
course.
going to have the kids in my getaway car.
Right.
In my Volvo.
Wagon.
But I think what was really interesting was that, who the hell is that lady in the back of the car that we never really readdressed? Which I'm sure we will eventually. She seems very important to the story. But I was curious. I was just hoping we'd get more information on her
Asian lady.
at some point.
What lady?
The Asian lady that was in the back.
She was a woman
Her
in the back
store
seat.
just got robbed.
That's what they said.
Or
but
a
I
store
don't know
that she
if
was
I
in
trust
just got
it.
robbed,
Her
and
liquor
she
store
was-
got robbed, yeah.
Yeah,
I
and she
didn't buy
was
that story. I
and
thought
she
the
was
cops were
trying to
straight lying.
identify the person who did it. That's why he threw him at the window like, is this a guy? And as soon as she said no, he let him go. But
Yeah, but I actually agree with Joelle, because personally, I grew up in the project, so a lot of stores get robbed. That doesn't mean the owner is now going to ride in the back of your car to find out the person who did it.
I didn't think
you
that
put them in a
was weird.
lineup. That
Right,
was
'cause,
weird
like,
as hell
also,
to me.
you only have one car. I mean, logistically, like, you only have one car, so you can't put the criminal in the back seat with a civilian. Like, it's too weird. Also, she was very calm. She didn't seem, like, disheveled or like someone had just had a gun in her face. She was just, like, waiting.
she was down with what was going on.
Yeah, so I didn't think that she had been robbed. I think she's part of something larger, that they're looking for somebody. We don't know who yet. We'll see, maybe. Maybe.
I'm like processing it now because I literally didn't think of it like that, but now that you're saying, I'm like, oh snap, like maybe.
I didn't either, so that's what they be on.
How did you guys feel?
So it's like that.
How did you guys feel about the girls, like, and their reactions while they were inside of the car?
I'm Anissa. I'm filming. Well, I'm on both, actually. It depends on how I feel. Like, first of all, you pull my dad out the car. I'm going to try to, like,
I'm
jump up
streaming
for my dad.
live.
Yeah.
I'm streaming live. Like, people will definitely see this.
I'm definitely like on her. I do that all the time. I ride the metro all the time, and anytime that there's like police on there with like the homeless or whatever, I instantly like have my phone up ready because you just never know. And like
Yeah.
we gotta be out
So
here.
you automatic reporter.
Yeah, because you just never know. And I mean, today's day and age, that's a lot of ways that we've not necessarily been able to see justice, but like it's.
At least we know
We
the
see
truth.
it.
At least
Yeah.
we know the truth, exactly.
There has been light shine on the darkness.
Ivan would like us to know this is based on the showrunner's own experience.
I think it's a lot of people's experience,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
And it's
Yeah.
just a shame. Like, even though watching, you feel like he's doing great. He's an Olympic gold medalist. He came back to the school to make a difference. Yet the color of his skin, like the color of your skin, is still something. 400 years later, it's still something that is just affecting everything, and it's a shame and sad, and it really needs to change.
Yeah, and it kind of just goes to show that you can have all the education, and you can have the nice clothes, and you can speak, properly or whatever, and it can easily just come down to, oh, your skin color is not correct, so get out of the car.
Yeah, the whole situation was rude, but I definitely would have been like Jennifer. She was shining her flashlight back in their face.
Oh yeah, so it's like, do you like it? Do you
Okay, agitating the cops is not a great way to go. I'm like, film, yes, you're well within your legal rights.
Yeah.
Taunting, you're asking for it.
But what Jefferson and Nissa were talking about, their Dr. King and Fannie Hammer, just like that. Like, you can tell they have a very intellectual, they can go wits to wit with each other. But like what they were saying is true. Like, violence with violence just begets more violence either way. But we're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah.
And that statement is still true today in 2018.
Yeah.
True. So we make it to the fundraiser, and we get introduced to a couple of people. we meet Henderson, who is like the detective, and I don't know how I feel about him, to be honest. Like,
Henderson seems like he could be shifty.
yeah,
Like at first I'm like, yeah, I like you, but he's like, but let me do my job, and I'm like,
Yeah, I
don't
wouldn't trust
know.
him.
yeah.
I don't
know.
trust him.
I want to see the thing with Henderson is like I want to trust him. Like inherently that style of character, like the best friend on the police detective in a procedural show, like that guy's helpful as hell. Usually, like you go to your detective friends and skirt the rules, and they give you the information you need. It doesn't seem. Do you guys think Henderson knows he's Black Lightning or no?
Doubt it.
I don't think he knows, but I think he kind of has an idea. But either way, he's on the opposite side of Black Lightning. He doesn't like him.
Yeah.
You know, see, he doesn't like the character. He doesn't like who he is. He doesn't like that. You know, he gonna come for his officers if need be. Like he don't. So it's just like, how can they be friends when they're on opposite sides of each other?
It'll be interesting if they just to see if the writers go like vendetta style, where it's like, okay, they're, as you explained, like completely on opposite sides of the law vigilante versus somebody who's working inside of the law, or if we see them kind of start bending toward each other. 'Cause Jefferson obviously has respect for the cops, but also, as we hear later, he says like, look, I would prefer not to have to call the cops in this situation. I don't want things to get messy. So I feel like maybe they could be working together sooner rather than later, but it'll be interesting to see.
I feel like it kind of reminds me of the Batman and who is the commissioner in
Gordon.
I feel like it kind of feels like their dynamic where it's like they.
It depends on which version of Gordon, but totally.
Yeah, for sure.
There's certain versions of Gordon's where like, oh my god, I love Batman. Thank God he's here because I can't do certain things I need to do. But there's a lot of comparisons between this city and Gotham, so I totally see what you're saying.
Yeah. And we also see. Who else did we
Lynn.
meet? Lynn, the ex-wife, who, okay, baddie.
Oh,
That chemistry is
my
on
God.
Yeah, it is. I love it. Like the way he looks at her,
Yes.
and the way she looks back at him and gives him a smile, and then their eye contact.
Lynn, what is the problem?
right.
Like, what is for real?
She
the
divorced him for being Black
problem?
Lightning.
Well, we know
Get-
the reason why. However, we're still just saying. when
It's
you have
been 9 damn years, girl. What
on.
is you waiting for?
That is a man.
Right?
Girl.
You keep it. But probably Lynn's like, no, I got that already. Like, I know that I have that, so I'm not really worried about it. I can go back to that anytime. What I really appreciate about their introduction as a couple, it's cool to see a divorced couple that gets along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's...
And she just pop up at the house when she wants to. Like,
she's
just
still
was
family,
there, you know?
and I think that's something we don't get to see a lot. Oftentimes, divorced couples are rabid and at their throats on TV. But there's a conscious uncoupling that happens a lot of times when you guys just want different things out of life, and I think that that's cool to see, and it makes for a much more interesting relationship dynamic to watch. Because they clearly want to be together, but now there'll be like all this unresolved stuff.
Oh, it's unresolved, all right. That ending, he was like, "You ain't going nowhere." You staying here.
We also meet Miss Fowdy, who I think is like his secretary. It
Oh,
looks
Kara,
like.
yeah.
Slash crush, not his
Or
crush, but she has a
assistant
crush on
principal.
him.
Yeah, she has a crush on
Right.
him.
Yeah,
definitely.
I was like, you need to chill.
she all up in his face, throwing
Right.
her body on him, all types of stuff.
I was
She
like,
got
do
it,
not
though.
see Lynn.
She walks down the hallway and holds his arm.
She
Yeah.
does.
Like she don't have no personal
When they
space.
first came down, I thought that they were a couple. Then when he went over to his ex, I had remembered reading that they were going to be separated. So I was like, oh, okay, so is he like dating someone? And I was
Yeah.
like, oh no, this girl is just really into him.
No, but the way like Lynn made it seem like maybe there was something going on because she was like, Kara's over there. I mean, but I'm still gonna like do this and put my hands on you and like show her what it is.
I
still
couldn't tell
have.
if it was like,
Yeah.
I see you looking at my man girl and it's cute, or if it was like, you guys used to have something, but I know he doesn't take you too seriously. I live for drama. Like, I'm really excited to see people like above it all, and it's not like hip hop Atlanta and like people are having real relationships. But I wouldn't mind if it got a little messy later.
Yeah. Chris Williams, who plays Jefferson Pierce, says it's that the show itself is basically a Black family drama, and they just happen to be superheroes. So I
Yeah,
feel like,
I watched that interview.
yeah,
saw
I
him
feel
say
like we're
that.
gonna see some like, oh, I need to see a little bit of like I can't. Come on.
Well,
Like,
but it's also, again, this is the woman who brought us Being Mary Jane, so
Yeah.
we're gonna get the mess eventually.
we're gonna get to this. I liked finding out that Anissa is a med student.
Yes.
I thought that was pretty cool. I'm wondering how we're gonna see that come into play, especially like with her powers and all of that.
I look forward to the first Grey's Anatomy style blackout where she has to somehow use her powers and perform surgery at the same time.
Yeah, with like a paperclip.
Yes, MacGyver that shit.
Like,
Can we say it's like a la like Cosby Show for like a new generation? Like they might be divorced, but that's a black family who still got together. One kid's a med student, one's a scholar athlete. Come on, and the comedy's on point regardless.
Can I just say that it's nice that it's like it's black representation, but it's dark skinned black representation.
Woo,
like,
yes.
thank you.
But
It's
y'all
a-
all light skinned.
I know, which is why it's exciting. Like, I recognize and stand for my like light skin privilege, and I think it's really
Yeah.
awesome. Like, I advocate for seeing more dark skinned people
Absolutely.
on TV. It's ridiculous.
See, this is what I be talking about. We already got this whole black thing. Now we got to separate the black and the black. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, but you gotta.
But I
There's a
understand.
light skin privilege. It's just like for some things.
that's
some people,
crazy
some
because
people
this
feel
is
like
my
that,
first
though.
time hearing this phrase.
Oh,
Y'all
light skin
saying it?
privilege?
Light
Light
skin
skin
privilege?
privilege?
It's my first time hearing this phrase.
Oh.
So for me, it's just like, what?
I think if you feel like you look at a lot of the black leading ladies outside of Gabrielle Union, they all tend to have a
Taraji.
very similar. Thank you, yes, Taraji.
And Carrie.
True.
Yeah. So, but look at the young girls. So look at like Zendaya. Look
Zendaya.
at Yara,
Yeah.
Shahidi, and then who's the other girl? Amanda
Steinberg.
They
Yeah,
all have the
Tracy.
exact same look, like
Yeah.
that same curl pattern, same like roughly the same color skin. And they're all really great performers and they're beautiful, and I don't think they don't deserve. But man, like. I just know there's a lot of other girls out
Yeah.
here who could like also do these roles and do them justice. And it's cool to see them. It's cool to see them like being the attractive girls and not like we've seen in far too many like hip hop biopics where the dark skinned girls are like
Ugly.
whores and ugly and all this other kind of
Yeah.
ridiculous BS. It's cool. It's amazing.
I just, because I'm a dark skinned girl, I feel honored that y'all are sitting here having this
Well,
conversation.
I think it's our responsibility to,
Yeah.
like, as light-skinned women, I think it's our responsibility to help push up our dark-skinned sisters and to help fight for them because, like, in reality, we really are in the same boat, and it's stupid to let something as, like, vicious and obnoxious as colorism, like, separate us because, like, I feel like that is playing into our downfall as the black community. So if we can,
Yeah.
like...
And as women.
and
Because
as
we
women.
already fighting racism and white privilege. We don't need to fight colorism
Exactly.
and light skin privilege either.
So if I can take my light skin privilege and help push up my darker skinned black sisters, then that's what I'm going to do. And I'm so glad that we have a show where we have not one, not two, but like 3 and
Four,
still
five,
counting. Yeah,
6.
and still counting strong dark skinned black women.
Yeah.
It's about time to keep it coming. Like, I'm
Yeah,
hyped
it's
for it.
beautiful.
Renji laughed when you just like I'm the only dark skin one on the panel.
Huh?
He was like, he put in parentheses what you said, but it was really funny. I just laughed out loud.
But
really
y'all
hard.
light skin.
But y'all light skin.
Hilarious. I love the dynamic between Jennifer and her sister, like when she catches her, you know, getting ready to go to the club or whatever. That's just such a true, like, do you guys have sisters?
To hear the term fast ass like on TV, I was like,
Right?
yeah.
Right. I'm like, this is so real because we say that stuff to people.
I haven't heard that since like
Yeah, since I was little.
mid like 2000. Not even joking though. Like, so to hear it, I'm with Joelle. Like that was just like, damn, you take me back, and I'm loving it at the same time.
Yes.
I mean, we don't hear it because we grown now. So people
Right.
ain't saying it to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
But in high school, I used to hear all. That's all I thought my middle name was Fast. Okay, because that's all they used to call me. Like, you ain't got no business right here with your fast tip. I'm just like, well, dang. I used to stay in trouble too because I was fast.
Oh, I didn't. I mean, high school was fun. Like the rumors people like just even made about me in high school. It was just like totally untrue, obviously. But I loved hearing it. I'm just like, y'all got some good imagination because I didn't even think about that.
I feel like the show
Thank you
does
so
a
much.
really good job of exploring high school life too. The idea that she's like not just sneaking out but getting ready in the bathroom at school, which
Yeah.
is so
Getting ready in the
familiar and
bathroom at
throwback.
school, at the club,
Her
smoking.
friend, like, no class at all, like, just brought out, like, girl, not that you can't, like, if you're, you know, about that lifestyle, go for it, but I just feel she's just weird. She is fast. That's how we said it
It's
already.
just funny because,
Oh,
like, high
Keisha.
school fashion
Yeah.
isn't, like, actual fashion. It's just, like, when you're fast, it's just, like, what am I trying to show off? Like, there's
Right.
no real,
Yeah.
like, style to it. And so seeing them in those outfits and then seeing them go to that little club brought back so many memories of like teen clubs when I
Oh
was.
yes.
Shout out to the Key Club.
Shout out to the skating rink.
I can't even shout out mine because it was all illegal.
I will not shout that, but it happened. It went down. Yeah.
We could probably talk forever about high school teen clubs. We're gonna keep on pushing today.
It's true. But I like that her sister covered for her. I like that her sister was like, you go to your little party, whatever, but, you know, home by 10:15 because I'm not getting busted for this.
At 10:15, she was all up in homeboy face.
No, but she was like, Harriet, let me be free. I was rolling. She's like, Harriet, let me be free. Come on, Harriet. Like, I do love the reference, but it's just like, you can take that so many ways.
Yeah.
So we see her boot up with this little boy, Will.
Yeah.
Who starts flirting with her, and obviously that does not go well at all. They get dragged into a side room, and he tries to like pimp her off.
Okay,
Right?
several questions. One, where was her friend? Like, you know you gotta keep
Right.
eyes out for your girl.
Basically.
No, that's a bad friend. You dump that friend tomorrow. Okay? And it's your responsibility as a club to make sure I don't get dragged off by a crazy. That's it. That's why we go to the club together. Part two, her kicking his ass was amazing. I thought you were cool until I found out you were somebody else's bitch. I was like, I live for this
Because
show.
I wasn't expecting her to go there.
Right.
Really
You
wasn't.
know,
So much ass. These girls are incredible.
I wasn't expecting her to go there or say that to him. I'm just like, wow, because I was thinking of it like, no, I'm not about to be, you know, hoeing in nobody's motel. But not only that, you somebody else's. Like,
Right.
like it was a lot for me because I'm like, dang, she took it there. Like, that's a lot. I respect her because she know her worth, and then she knows like the character of a guy that she would rather be with. You know,
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And the way she played him off, she was like, dude, if I would have said I would have went to that bathroom, you would have been all to go. But, like, just because I'm stoned does not mean you can get some. Like,
Right.
she sent all the cards all perfectly so you know who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
But then he called her an alternative black girl. And my question is, what the hell is an alternative black girl? Does that just mean music or our dynamic, how we
It's
speak?
lazy, cis, straight male,
If
black
I
version.
was gonna say,
of
if I
like-
had $1 for every time someone called me alternative black girl or I'm not like other black girl,
That's crazy.
I would be a
Once
millionaire.
again, that was my first time hearing that phrase too.
Seriously?
When I tell y'all, I grew up around black people all my life. I was raised on the east side of Detroit, all black. I went to an all black high school, all of that, all black college. Then came to LA. This is my first time being in a diverse area. So to hear phrases like this is just like, what?
See, I had the exact opposite experience. I grew up in an all-white community.
So people would call you alternative black girl?
No, so when I would go to the city to hang out with my cousins, there I was the alternative black girl. Because either I spoke white or, like, you know, the nose
Like, we used to call
ring
people
was a thing
Oreos.
for a
I got
while.
called an Oreo.
God,
I
way
told
too
somebody
many
I was a
times.
s'more. And you want to know why? I'm brown on the outside and I'm black and white on the inside. Leave me alone. You can't call me because I grew up in the projects. I grew up around like predominantly black community. However, I liked horseback riding. I like to go swimming. I liked archery. I like traveling.
Is that stuff
And-
black people don't like?
Apparently not in my town because I'm the only one who wouldn't do it when it did it.
I mean, see, all that stuff sound fun. We just wouldn't know. I'm saying we just wouldn't know about it because we weren't exposed to it. We in real black neighborhoods.
well, because like where I'm from, like there's like 4 different sets of projects, and then like only some people hardly ever even got out the state. Like even you just go across the river and you're in Missouri, but like that's as far as you went. Like you barely got out. 'Cause I'm from Illinois.
Long time.
I'm from Illinois, a small town Illinois. However, like I like musicals. I'm a very white person in a
The
black
only
person's
musical
body.
we
but-
like was high school.
and I talk proper when I went to other cities, and they're like, "Oh, you go to this school, but you sound like this." I'm not supposed to sound like I have some sense, like I'm educated.
Intelligence is not down to one race, y'all.
Thank you.
I have black women have the highest percentage of degrees. So speak on that.
Truth.
But since we just got real heated about it for a second,
We have a mild heat.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But then no. Then he had to even go even further. He was like, "What do black girls have to have so much attitude?" That's a really
why
funny
you gotta
word.
ask dumb questions?
Warning sign number 1.
This whole conversation made me feel like we should have been on BHL.
Black white
This should have been a BHL show.
Girl.
Oh.
Yeah. But being young and trying to date these men, it's a challenge, y'all. It is I feel for her. I'm like, you have so many more of these to go through.
There's so much more disappointment.
Many more just awful dudes to just
But the disappointment happened in 30
through.
seconds. That's all I need. Give me a good 30 seconds to let me know that you ain't nothing so I can keep it pushing.
Yes.
Pretty much like
but it
this.
takes time to develop like what your 30 seconds is. You know what I mean? Because at first you're like, oh, he's cute. Well, that's stupid. But like, I'm sure that it's just all stupid. Okay. All right. I spent a week here. This was dumb. I gotta go find something else to do with my life.
I gotta keep it pushing. I love that the gang leader. Well, not we find out he's not actually the gang leader, but you know,
Well,
a gang general.
Oh, Lala.
Yeah, Lala.
I know him. That's my friend Will.
Your actor, or like your friend Will is like Lala.
No, Will Catlett is playing Lala.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
When is Will gonna come visit us
Right?
and talk about?
That's what we're gonna.
I'm gonna hit him up.
Let's
Yeah,
do
let me
it.
know.
Let's get it in here.
I'm working on China, but obviously they're filming, so we have time.
I love that his name is Lala because I was just like, that's so
Weird.
weird, but like,
I mean,
That's also some hood shit, though.
I guess it's better than
like a soft
Latavius.
name for like the
Right.
toughest guy on the block is like a total like.
I was gonna say, I know people named Coogie, I know people named like Bubba. I was like, Lala just seems real.
I guess
Like,
it's better
feel
than
that.
Latavius, but like I'm just like when I hear Lala, I'm thinking of obviously Lala Anthony or
Yeah, that's
or,
what I
like,
think of.
I'm thinking of a girl personally, and like that it doesn't strike fear in me saying Lala. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Like, what you mean? Where's Lala? Oh, it's Lala.
But shout out to Jefferson for being a really protective dad and putting GPS on the phone. Did any of your parents have GPS?
Man, he don't have GPS. He got a tracking device.
Yeah, like
He hit that one button.
Yes.
Oh, she here.
yeah.
Oh, that's what you got on your phone? I need that for when I had kids, too.
Most parents nowadays have that on their phone. My parents, I grew up in a time when I didn't have a cell phone. I had a cell phone senior year of high school, but they would not have been able to find me. I would have just been gone.
When did you graduate high school?
2008.
Oh, okay, that's why you had it so late. Okay. I had a cell phone as soon as high school hit.
Oh yeah, me
Yeah, I had
too.
cell phones.
I
But-
went through a couple.
I don't think my parents aren't super technologically like savvy, so they didn't know about all of that. So I was like,
Oh yeah,
go.
my parents were the same way. But me and my parents had more of a trusting relationship. Like I got to stay out to 2 a.m, and as long as they knew I was safe and where I was, we were good.
They ain't had a tracking device, though.
But it, yeah, that's true. But it was more like of a trusting. Like I think like the generations now, like it's kind of like not like a lack of trust, but a lack of trust. Because it's easier to lie now with technology than it is just like to your face sometimes too. So like we had a nice trusting relationship.
And Jennifer lied to everybody.
She lied to everybody.
Right.
She don't care.
she's not even good at it. She's not even
Like,
slick with
and
it.
then you don't think you about to get caught. Like, she don't know. That's because she don't know who her daddy is. That's what happened. She don't know who her daddy is, so she just didn't understand that this wasn't the right thing to do. Like, it takes the one who knows the least to get the family in trouble
It's true. Weakest link in
all
the
the
chain.
time.
What do you guys think about Jefferson blowing up the cop car? Did you see him out of control of his powers at some point?
No, that was in control. Because at this point, I'm pissed as hell. I lost my daughter. I had to fight people I didn't want to fight. My powers came back, and you just shocked me with some tasers. I am done. Okay.
Are
Here
you talking
go.
about the first or the second time?
It's like when he blows the
He
cop
blows
car
up the
up.
car. The cop car.
Yeah, now when he freaks
Oh.
out and gets pulled over and kind of has his little moment.
Oh, when he
chills.
take them and
yeah,
take they little
taser. He's
they
like,
taser back.
we're gonna pluck those off me real quick.
Yeah, I
This
didn't know he was
stupid.
about to do that to them. I would have expected him to like fly away or just go the other way or just surrender himself, and let them know like I was just in here looking for my daughter. But the way he did that, I was like, oh, he mean biz. Like he didn't come to play with y'all. Don't tase me because I'm in here trying to save my daughter. Y'all ain't doing nothing. Y'all in here for the wrong people. Y'all trying to get me when these little hood niggas out here running around and they the ones shooting up the clubs.
I'm just glad I wasn't the first one to say the N-word today, so I'm really happy.
Oh dang! I said.
I mean, you can say it. You could. I was just like, I thought it was gonna be me. I was waiting on it.
I think it's another like parallel to Batman again, where like Batman isn't the most like
Well, like,
well liked and like he doesn't do things in the most like ethical sense, like we are like Superman, the Flash, like what blah blah blah. They're very like Boy Scouty, and like Black Lightning clearly is not very. He's just like, what you're not gonna do is you're not gonna
Right.
tase me, you're not gonna come up and disrespect me and not catch these hands.
Right.
So like, I like that he Oh yeah.
that is.
What
That's
about it?
That's an interesting theory, though.
Was there a dash cam on the cop car? Oh,
He blew that mug up.
I mean, it's still working. But as often as these
Ain't no more
cameras have
camera.
glitches or suddenly just don't work or footage gets lost, like that's gone. Like the police aren't gonna let themselves be embarrassed like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it wasn't the best lighting either way. So they can't really. They just see a guy in like a suit and tie. So unless they have to go back to the earlier night where there was a guy in a suit and tie, they almost arrested.
Oh no, my thought was that's why he blew it up. I was wondering is.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you.
This is Jeff from the. I'm watching the show too, just so y'all know.
I mean, it probably would have been a good idea to do that, but I don't think he was thinking that far ahead. I think he was thinking, "Yo, about to move on my way."
I was gonna say I think he's big. I think he's big mad. Like
Yeah.
he was just
Pissed.
like, all right, I'm gonna wreck your car. So he obviously gets hurt, and he goes, and we meet Gamby, who's like
Oh my gosh.
another Batman parallel, kind of
Oh my
like.
god,
It
like
gave
Alfred.
me Kingsman. It gave me
Yeah.
Kingsman vibe. I'm
You
not gonna lie.
totally get Kingsman vibes.
Yeah, yeah.
Taylor shop. Come on now.
But you know what? I'm not mad about it, especially because the suit is very important.
Mhm.
And he doesn't have like a scientific crew like Barry has.
Yeah.
Does Arrow make his own costumes?
I want to say
Arrow
maybe.
gets on my nerves. I don't even know.
Okay, we're not gonna talk about it. But it's cool. I also like that he has this kind of like very far removed mentor, almost. It makes it for really interesting. So
Yeah, that whole concept is wonderful.
one of my favorite aspects about JFK is that he was a guy who like only operated in circles. So like he had like 8 circles and like non-intersecting. Like he's like here I could be like a playboy, here I could be president, here I'm a husband, here I'm a father, like, and he didn't ever let those things intermix or mingle. It's not the healthiest way to live your life, but it makes for very interesting people.
Yeah.
Because they hold a lot of secrets, and you definitely get that feeling with Jefferson. I was really excited to see, like, is his Alfred able to kind of blend into his family life, or is he kind of his eyes and ears on the street? Like, do they expand him to be sort of an oracle where he's getting like dash cam, like street cam footage and stuff, and helping him out in other ways, or is he strictly for the uniforms? We know the girls are going to get powers. Does he make? He has to be the one that makes their uniforms, and then what is that debate like? Because they're going to have a lot of opinions.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, sorry.
Anissa, she probably ain't gonna care, but Jennifer want to be cute.
Jennifer has a lot of thoughts.
Nate Milton in the chat says, "I love this panel. Just like Black Lightning, they're authentic."
Oh,
Thank you.
So
Thank you. We love you too.
We see him, you know, he's hurt, he gets patched up by Gamby, they have a conversation, and he's like, you need to come back. Jefferson's like, nah, fam. I'm good. I'm trying to get my lady back. Like,
And the only way I can do that is if I'm not Black Lightning.
she's bad though, so I get it. I get wanting to put the suit away for your lady.
No, can we talk about the
My
fact that
thing
she
is, you put
unbuttoned
your
his
whole
shirt?
life away and you still don't have the girl. Like,
That's the thing. 9 years. This is
Right.
a patient ass man.
She's playing.
Like, you got a good like 2 years max of like I feel like I have a year to make up, and then like maybe we need time to readjust to these new people we've become in the past year of our separation.
like you put
but
your
after
suit
that,
up though. Like you ain't get on your knees and beg her please not to go. Like I don't understand why he don't
He didn't
have
play
her.
no Jodeci. Like,
Right.
No Sade.
well, it seemed to me
Right.
it seemed to me like this had been a conversation they had multiple times. It wasn't like you need to stop. It was like, I'm scared for you. You're still going out. Please stop this. I'm worried. Okay, you're still going out. Okay, I'm giving you an ultimatum. You went out again. I have to leave now.
Yeah.
This is no longer healthy for me and my sanity. Like, it's got to be a lot of mental strain to like have to physically patch somebody up and get them back on their feet in secret without anyone knowing,
And-
day in and day out.
yeah, and now the
I mean,
kids
but you
have
would rather
seen
die. You supposed to
like
do this.
But I don't want my kids to grow up without a daddy. Like, this is a lot of work and pressure.
They live with him.
Now,
I mean,
after he quit, because it sounds like she kicked him out of the house first. So that's another
Yeah.
thing we got to figure out is like how did it come that the girls either chose to stay with him or like Mama?
It's
wanted to
probably
go
the
out?
weekend. At
No,
this time.
they're the school. They were at school together.
Oh, they was.
But then my question is, I kind of felt she was out of line and saying that he's no better than a crackhead. That was way out of line for me.
Agree.
It was just
Because
totally.
crackheads ain't out here saving lives and kicking. They ain't out here like fighting violence on the street.
Well, but I protect a whole city by myself. Okay, crackhead, no.
I just thought she meant, which she was out of pocket, but I just thought she meant that he was like addicted to like
fighting.
and he was willing to like risk his family, his like, you know, himself.
Oh, and those characteristics as
Yeah.
in risking things and,
Yeah,
you know,
and being
messing up your
irrational.
life. Yeah, okay.
That's what I thought, like, she meant. But it was mad disrespectful. And it was one of those things that you say, like, in an argument when you're just trying to, like...
You trying to prove a point.
But
yeah,
I wouldn't
you're
have
like-
said that because that don't match.
It
Like,
don't.
Yeah.
It goes too far, for sure.
It goes a little too far for me. But like, can we talk about the fact that, like, you know, I'm the bad cop. I told her no social media for a month, and then she started unbuttoning the shirt. Like, I'm like, okay,
She was searching for wounds just to make sure.
No, I get why, but I'm just like,
Girl, I'm
you was
trying
gonna
to
keep
unbutton
going
too.
after the second
I'm saying
button.
one button open, and you're like, you know what? Screw morals. Like, I don't even care anymore. Like, we get
Like
back
that.
together, babe.
Can we? Okay, first of all, I've loved Crystal Williams ever since Living Single. And now that Living Single is now on Hulu, praise the Lord.
I'm into season 4.
But two, however, can we talk about he has aged so amazing? Like, that body, though. Can we
He
talk
did not
about...
have that on
He
the
did
video.
fine.
He did not.
He really just, wow, he put in work. And I respect it. I respect the work.
Respect the process.
He had to look like something to be Black Lightning.
Ooh. the
yeah.
crackhead comment was real foul. I bet they never talked to Meteor Man like that. Really? You have to say Meteor Man? You have to take it back for that one, but okay.
We get to see Tobias have someone thrown in, like, a piranha.
Piranha?
I was like, okay, that's real OG gangsta. Like, that's some, like, Sin City type, like,
Can we,
punishment.
as we look at kind of, so this show doesn't exist in the CW universe.
Right.
doesn't.
In
Not
the
Arrowverse.
established DC universe, it's already happening. So
Right.
you're right. So we're not Arrow, Flash, or Supergirl.
Which, thank you.
One big points.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see, like, I feel like I'm never really terrified of a villain. Even, like, Thrawn might have been the most, like, intimidating villain from that universe. Yeah, it's just like, it's pretty bad. Like, maybe the Earth ends.
Yeah.
But mostly it's so involved in Barry and what Barry's doing that it doesn't feel like it's happening outside of the city.
Yeah.
Whereas here, like, that guy, I'm not effing with that guy.
No.
Like, you gotta have some real cojones to be like, you know what? I gotta square up with this dude harpooning people and throwing people in piranha tanks. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
But can we talk about what Roland Martin said on the TV? Which I just like, you have Roland Martin delivering news.
That's
But
awesome.
okay, TV One, get it. For CW. But he said, the curious question is, why is he seen as a vigilante? If why in other communities they people with human like superpowers are all of a sudden heroes? Like, it's been 400 years and there's still a double standard. And that's a question I have of myself, because at that point it's just like, when you have quote unquote white superheroes, they're heroes, they're they're protectors, but now he's black, he has to be a vigilante because he's trying to protect his community.
That was a really great way of framing the world and how they, because, like, you have to imagine, like, we had a debate, like, could Batman be somebody other than a white Bruce Wayne?
Yeah.
And I said there's no way he could be black. There's just a black man in an all black suit, like, jumping out of the sky. Like, they're gonna take that guy down so
Yeah,
fast. There's no way. And so it was cool to see that they integrated that aspect into the show. Certainly.
Yeah. So this earlier was not the last time we see Will. We see Will
This fucker.
pop up onto the school. Not before we have a whole little moment with Jefferson telling his assistant or his secretary, like, we're not gonna have metal detectors and stuff. Like, I'm not about to treat this school like a jail, which I loved because,
It was
like,
great.
literally, I can't think of, like, a school that I, like, in my neighborhood growing up that, like, didn't have metal detectors or didn't
Yeah,
have
we had
something.
metal detectors in our high
Me
school.
too.
And I was
Middle
in my
and high
community.
school.
And we
Not
had
even
to
joking.
have clear backpacks.
Yeah,
Oh
like,
no, not that though.
just ridiculous. I'm like,
It's
I'm
Detroit.
just trying to come here. I'm just trying to come here to learn.
I mean,
like,
people still snuck in some knives somehow, so I'm trying to figure out how that happened. But okay.
But so yeah, Will, which unfortunately Will comes in, kind of ruins that whole like point that Jefferson's trying to make, and he takes the girls.
Well, I thought it was a really nice. First of all, the conversation was nice because it's true.
Yeah.
Like, metal detectors do have the potential to protect a school and the student body, which is important. But of course, we don't want to make our kids feel like they're part of the jail system before they haven't done anything. They're just trying to come to school to learn.
Yeah.
And Jefferson, by being able to stop it before the gun doesn't breach school grounds the first time, he's able to stop it. He's able to talk the kid down from a ledge. Like, I think there's a lot of discussion happening about how could our schools potentially be run if we had people vested in them that cared.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on the other end of that because, like, at the end of the day, once again, I grew up on the east side of Detroit, and I went to a high school in Detroit. We had metal detectors, and I turned out fine. And I'm serious.
I mean,
and
I
I just feel like having protection in an area where you live in that makes sense. It all makes sense. So that means that students know that they're safe because they know the area that they live in. They know that, you know, there's a very low percentage of somebody coming up in there with a gun and shooting them all because of, you know, the area that they live in and because they have metal detectors. So I think it's all about, you know, perspective of your area. So if you live in some white suburb or something, you don't have metal detectors, okay, that's fine. Why would you ask me to put metal detectors in my school? But if you in a hood on the east side of Detroit and we got metal detectors, that makes a lot of sense. And it's better to protect your students and to make them feel safe as well, you know, because I feel safe. And when nobody coming up in there with no guns.
Which is actually interesting because, you know, school shootings can happen at a much higher rate at white populated schools. As far as mass killers and gun violence. You're making good points, girl.
I mean, we had a whole knife fight happen in my school. And I grew up in East St. Louis, so we only have one high school.
You grew up in the 30s? A knife fight?
No, seriously, like, dude pulled out a knife. Like,
were they, like, jabbing each other? Like, stabbing each other?
Well, okay, I won't say knife fight. Well, one guy had a knife, one guy didn't, and that's how that knife fight ended.
Oh, okay. So it was more of a stabbing.
It was yeah, it was a lot of a stabbing.
Oh my
God.
God.
But still, like, and we had metal
like
detectors.
blood in the hallway stabbing?
Yeah.
That's traumatizing.
I mean, it's like people say that like I'm just like it's kind of where I grew up. Maybe I'm desensitized, and I get it, and I'm okay with it. Like I'm not that traumatized by it because I saw it and I'm over it, and I turned out well. I like to say. So at that point,
just like me.
Yeah, we're good.
Do you guys think you're the exception or the rule, though?
I've always been different, so I'm hoping I'm the exception. I don't know if that makes me better or for worse, but I mean, I've never thought of things the same way as other people where I grew up. I've always wanted to be like Jefferson. I wanted to get out, but I also wanted to come back to my hometown and do something to make it better, to bring more hope into my town and show the world that we're more than just athletes who go win gold medals. We are people who love academics just as well as we obviously. I chose media, but still, I was in academics too. So I'm like, there's more to us than just how far we can run, how fast we can run, how much we can play, how many state championships of football we can win.
Right.
What do you guys think of Black Lightning's new suit?
Yes.
Seeing as he obviously has to go back to Gamby after the girls get.
It needs to be bulletproof. What they doing?
I thought it was kind of bulletproof.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah. He got the bullet.
He stopped the bullet.
Like,
but it still cut him. It still cut him because at the end when he was in the shower, he was still bleeding. It was coming out.
I thought that's from the same spot from earlier.
So that's in the first fight. Then he gets the new suit. Then at the new suit, he goes to the motel, gets shot by a gun, and he's able. The suit stops it, and he holds up the melted, dented in bullet. I like the suit. I like that also when his tailor sends him the video of the old man talking about him, and he's like, "Look, it's not all bad. Look at what you did. This guy got to see, the first black president and his grandchildren and all this other great stuff." One, I really liked the way that led in, but two, I liked that guy said his original suit looked like Parliament, and he was so offended by that. He's like, "What? Parliament? It did a little, bro. It's okay."
He was bald head. The suit was ugly.
It was something like out of some Teen Titan.
I kind of like if I don't know if you guys watched Luke Cage on Netflix.
Yeah.
But they had the same moment with Luke Cage when he wears his original costume. He's like, "I look ridiculous in this," and I kind of like that we pay homage to the original costumes from the comic books. It's nice.
Yeah.
Ivan wants us to know that Oliver on Arrow is also called a vigilante, so it isn't something new, and we're not saying it is, but also remember, technically we're not in the Arrowverse, so the Arrowverse technically does not exist on Black Lightning.
It's true.
So, in the world that we live in, the double standards still apply.
And also, we have very few black superheroes. Very few.
Yes.
And so, on the grand scheme of things, the one big black superhero we have is the vigilante. Out of all of these white superheroes that are superheroes, who don't have the most ethical, means of doing things, we're going to call the one black superhero that's on TV right now the vigilante.
Yeah, it's weird because I come from a comic book space. So in comic books, Batman is frequently referred to as a vigilante.
Yeah.
But I felt that the line wasn't meant to describe IRL. It's not meant to describe the real world. I think it was meant to help define and shape the world that we live in now.
Yeah.
Inside of Black Lightning.
I agree. So I personally think that this fight scene, I'm always very interested to see the first fight scene of like a superhero show because I feel like it tells us a lot about the budget. I'm not gonna say names, but there have been other shows where the first fight scene was a little corny, and luckily throughout the seasons they got better. But they spent all the coin on Black Lightning. How did you guys feel about the first scene? I thought it was fire.
I thought it was lit. Like I said, I was telling you before we got in here, my favorite part, he was like, he got shot by the bullet, and he takes the bullet fragment and tosses it, and he's like, you should at least let a brother say something heroically clever first. Like, that right there, that made the whole pilot for me. That one line, I'm just like, I praise you for your work right now, because that was lit.
I like that he punished him by taking his car.
Yeah.
It was a very dad moment inside of a superhero costume kind of thing. Of like, it was a nice car. And it's also, again, shows the way Black Lightning wants to handle his community. Because we see when he's dealing with Lala and the little boy earlier in the cafeteria, like, or cafe or wherever they're at, they say one line that's identical. Like, Jefferson says it earlier, and then Lala repeats it in that scene. And they're talking about, you know, growing up and expectations that we have for you and what we expect you to do in the real world. And all these kids are treated kind of, on Lala's side, with an iron fist. Like, you're going to do what I say. I was kind of reminded of Kendrick Lamar's whole new album where he talks a lot about, like, the kind of abuses you can suffer in a Black household. And I like that we're kind of having these conversations because there's something to what Lala is saying. Like, you wanted to lay up and play video games all day when you had a job to do. Like, that's not acceptable. But I also feel like Lala crossed the line. I liked the way Jefferson kind of continuously handles the children that he interacts with. Because even this punk kid who, like, could potentially sell a girl into prostitution, which is just ridiculous, so he's still a child, which is so weird to think about, too.
And, like, they start that young, too, not to be... Just to be real, they start them that young, and it's just it's a shame. Just gangs in general, that's how they start. They get them young, and they rise up to when they're teenagers and adults if they live that long.
Well, it sounds like he even cornered his cousin because he was like, you know, I'm the one who got you a lawyer in jail. I'm the one who made sure your commissary was full, so you owe me now.
Like, you might be family, but money's still important
because he still needs his money. But the whole thing with the little boy, I was kind of sad because I see stuff like that, like especially growing up in the Black community. That's how they, you know, talk to kids. That's how we're raised, in a sense, like with the strong hand. Like, there's not many people willing to come and mentor and groom and let you know what's right from wrong in a very good manner. It's always in comparison to the white people or in comparison to the white world or what you ain't gonna get outside of where you at, you know. And it's always in a negative aspect. Like, I want somebody to teach me with positivity, somebody who to teach me and uplift me, not teach me and then tear me down all in the same sense. And I feel like that's what he was doing to the little boy, and it kind of hurt my heart because that's the kind of world I grew up in, and I know it to be true. And they had that scene because there's so many other people going through stuff like that. So for them to kind of bring light to stuff that I've witnessed in my life was a real big thing for me, and I appreciated that.
I think a lot of times we see scenes like that don't have any context, where it's just like an adult being very cruel to a child.
But that had a lot of context.
And it was beautiful, and it was wonderful. I really, because to me, like, life didn't turn out great for Lala. Like, he's clearly, he's in charge, he's got some money or whatever, but, like, he's not Jefferson. Like, he calls Jefferson, like, Black Jesus later in the show. And I think that because the world has treated him hard, like, that's how he feels that he can prepare the kids in his circle for the world out there. It's like, I have to be, because things I would hear my grandfather say all the time, I have to be 3 times as hard on you so that when you go out into the real world, you can be prepared for what's going to be out there. Not to say that it's right or to justify it in any way, because I don't think it is, but I do see... I'm glad that if you're going to portray that side, that it's done in a way that is human and real and authentic.
Yeah, see, the thing with that is, because I grew up like that, and people used to tell me that, I'm going to be 3 times harder on you because, you know, they ain't going to... That made me defensive. It didn't make me strong in my mindset. It made me go to bat with anybody that felt like they was going to play me like I'm dumb. You know? And that gives... It just does things to people differently.
We actually... Oh, sorry. I was going to say, we actually got to start wrapping up because we're close to ending the show. But what did you guys think of her getting her powers?
That was dope.
Do you think it's gonna come into full fruition in the next episode, or like when do you think we're gonna get?
I was kind of shocked it happened so fast.
Yeah.
First of all, somebody gonna go in that bathroom and be like, "What happened to the sink?"
That's my first
So
question.
I mean, so at the end of the day, they gonna know something's up because ain't nobody just break that sink. Like ain't nobody come and saw that mug. Something happened, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited because it's like it's gonna be like a team of 3. Like you know, like I'm just excited for this to see a black woman with superpowers.
Yeah.
It's always amazing.
You guys have predictions for next week?
Your AfterBuzz predictions.
Oh boy. I think both the girls have their powers by the end of episode 2, and I don't think that they're going to share that with Dad right away. I don't know how they're going to get away with it with a broken sink, because you would have to explain that to black parents, so you can't skirt around
You
it.
really can't.
You can't. They can't be like, oh, well, that's weird. Let's just fix that. Like, you have to answer some questions. But I think that they do. The girls have each other's back pretty solidly. So it'll be interesting to see how they talk about their powers to one another. And then Jefferson also says at the end of this episode, when he's talking to, his ex. Lynn, thank you. That's my mom's name. I should remember that. He's talking to Lynn, and he says, we have to continue to talk about this because now I've gone back and been Black Lightning, and I think for him there's some contradiction in, like, I can't save my girl and not save the rest of the city. Like, I can't be Black Lightning just for us. So I'll be interested to see how Lynn takes that, because I have a feeling he's going to be in the suit almost immediately next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get back together.
I kind of want to see a little bit more of his backstory, because obviously the trauma from the night kind of triggered her powers. So I'm wondering if that's like, if they're gonna show that that's how his powers are. I'm interested to see how it lines up with the comics.
Well, it derives from emotions, so
yeah,
of course.
Somebody said I broke a handheld mirror when I was 12. My pops damn near put me on a trial.
Yeah, black parents don't play.
Black parents, yeah, you gonna have to do some type of explaining. Cause I'm sorry, you broke it in half, and there's water now coming. I need explanations. I want to see Jennifer get her powers and how she deals with it. Cause I feel like she would have a more difficult time with her powers.
She's still in high school.
Because she's still in high school, and that she's still a little immature in the way she goes about dealing with things, and that's gonna come into play, definitely. I want to see Tobias a little bit. I want to see that backstory. I want to see
Tobias with the harpoon. What? That
Come
was
on.
some sickening stuff.
Insane.
Like, that's Boardwalk Empire levels of, like, torture and corruption, and he's
like reeling him in.
Oh man, I love his look. He is so intimidating. I really can't wait to see what his master plan is.
He's like, dude, like, I killed Black Lightning, and now whatever you did brought him back. So who would I need to kill to get this across to you so you understand what we're talking about today?
Yeah.
It was kind of calm but insane at the same time.
It's the best kind of
He
villain.
deserved it. I hope to see one of them take Lala out. I believe it's probably gonna be Anissa. It may not even happen the second episode, but I do believe that one of them gonna take him out.
Lala gotta go.
And I just want them to get back together.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because she knew, like, him going out to get, like, I'm going to get our, like, first of all, can we talk about that deepening voice he used when he was like, I'm going to get our girls? That was kind of sexy. I'm going to mention that. However, but, like, yeah, they do have to have a talk, like you said, because I might have to do this to get our daughters back, and you accepted it, but you can't accept it for one part and not accept it for the whole entire thing. So we really need to, like, we gotta get a grasp.
I am definitely excited to see, like, where the season goes. I think this was an amazing kickoff to this whole franchise, and I'm so incredibly hyped for it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. That had me shook. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. We are so excited to be together. We'll see you guys next week. My name is Drew Jones. You can follow me on all the things at OKDrewJ.
Hey guys, you find me at Real Chae Jones on Twitter and Instagram, and Love Chae Butt on Snapchat.
Hey guys, I'm Joelle Monique. You can find me all over the internet at Joelle Monique. Every week at blackgirlnerds.com. This Friday on Collider's Movie Talk, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, sure, why not? And then I have a new podcast coming up called Listen Up Ashholes, which is a recap of The Good Place with all black women, because we're just freakishly obsessed with it. So check it out.
Hey y'all, it's Porchia Carter. Thank y'all so much for watching. You can find me everywhere at Porchia Carter.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.